Pussy nigga react up. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, because you straight on, oh crap. I'm going to hear a popping sound because I didn't unplug my phone and plug it in yet.
Okay. The following podcast is rated M for mature. Viewer and listener's discretion is advised. Enjoy the show.
You taking my part, and I would unplug everything while I'm trying to do this.
We were supposed to both say it like
Yeah.
one, and then end it.
Yeah. What am I missing here?
Your head, bruh.
No, I'm missing.
You missing your motherfucking business, bitch.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, stupid ass bitch. Oh, no, this stupid ass bitch.
Oh, shit.
Is this so muted? Shit been muted for a week.
What?
You get muted.
Yep. Oh, what's up, Mel? I see you in here.
I don't.
My bad for all the popping. I'm trying to get everything set up here so we can play the intro.
Bitch. But the money was 6.
Alright. There we go. There we go. We about to go into downloads and the intro coming up now.
Common conversation 412. Token the Mano, Pittsburgh, what it do? We in the city of bridges, we in the city of smoke. We in the city of rivers, so you don't need you a moat. We in the city of haters, so you just might need a coat. Or at least bring your jacket, cause
You can't motherfucking hear it. Like, damn. What did I do last time when I had the comments over here?
I don't know.
You know that we grind, cause you know money is
No, you didn't have the comments up. You just had the picture up.
No, I had it up there at...
So put your hands up. Let's all live this life before death in the rough. Ain't no time for mess up. Man, you better get with it. Arithmetic that I'm spitting. Now do the math that you listen.
What's up, people?
Common conversation 412.
What's up, people? This is Common Conversation 412, and we are live.
And
He be taking too long sometimes.
No, yeah, 'cause so-
he be stalled out over there.
he cut me out like you know, like when you do it, it makes me feel so uncomfortable
Cause you gotta do the follow. You gotta do the last live and everything.
yeah, like it makes me feel so uncomfortable. It messes
All right,
up.
let's start this day off right. Let's go.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. What's up, people? This is Common Conversation 412, and we are live.
Live. In this bitch. And that's your host, Token, and I'm the other host, Mano, M-A-N-N-O.
And that's who we be.
That's who we are.
Yeah, so today, like, you know what I mean? So, real quick, I want to send my thoughts out to all the people who've been hit by the Hurricane Irma and stuff like that. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys got enough food, you're safe, and
yes, definitely. Like, I hope you're making it. Is what we can say. Hope
right.
everything is in your favor, and that you know what I mean. Like, you're what the
Hold
the hell?
Hold on. Because I don't have nothing over here. That's why.
Is that even plugged in?
Yeah, it's plugged in.
Wow. Okay. So yeah.
So we're going to do the intro
one more again. Y'all get the honor of hearing that one more again, all right?
We're messing up
one
here.
more time. We ain't messing up.
I'm messing up here. What's up, people? This is Common Conversation 412, and we are live.
Live.
In this
bitch.
I'm your host, Token.
And I'm Mano, M-A-N-N-O.
That's who we are.
And that's who we be.
Yeah, so I'm sorry about that, guys. So, hey, yeah, once again, we want to send our thoughts out to all the people who suffered through because of Irma and stuff like that.
And also bracing for the follow-up hurricane that's coming right behind Irma.
Well, yeah,
and also to the hurricane that's down in like the Mexican Gulf. Also, like there's a lot of shit going on right now.
There's a lot of stuff going on. There is a lot of stuff going on. So and yeah, so we just wanted to make sure we paid you guys some love and stuff like that. So yeah, so our thoughts are with you guys.
And also another thing is, let's have a moment of silence for the victims of terror and those who fell and we lost on September 11th, seeing that today is that anniversary.
And the people that we lost during the hurricane, too.
And also the hurricane. And just for the people that we lost, man.
Yeah.
We greatly appreciate it that everybody here is sticking with us through all of this craziness and all of the BS that's going on in the world. And I just realized that you did not return Facebook.
Oh.
So I'm sitting here trying to see what everybody else is saying and doing, and I can't because this guy, Token, is not on his fucking ball, not on his game right now.
Right. What's up, Edie? I didn't see Edie's in here.
Okay, are you able to zoom in on that? Because why do things look smaller?
I know. I don't know. So that's why I just said I can't see right now. I don't know. We might have to bring the TV closer and stuff like that.
Remember, weren't you able to enlarge it last time? Hit F11 real quick.
F11?
I believe that's it. Kinda helped.
Yeah, not really though.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. I tried.
So yeah, so we're just gonna leave it like that. But hey, so today's topic, right? Make sure you guys, if you can, please take a moment, share the show, tell people to come in, jump in here, and join the conversation. Yeah. Because this is going to be a good show. I think we can really talk about some stuff, and I know, like, I started this conversation a little bit at work with one of my coworkers and stuff like that. So we were talking about this. Yeah, and I think it's going to be a good show. And I mean, if you've seen the post, you'll see the questions we'll be talking about, or the questions we'll be discussing, and stuff like that. So, and I feel like this is going to be good. I feel like we can converse and get a lot out. And,
what's going on, Esquire? How's everything going? I'm doing all right. Dealt with a family loss the last couple of weeks. Been going through a lot, but besides that, everything has been copacetic. Trying to, me and the family getting through that situation there, and just coming to realize that, like, you get into this routine, to where you get used to the see you when I see you type situation, and you get comfortable with that. And it made me realize where it's like, sometimes you just gotta, whether it be, because you can go years without seeing somebody or talking to them. You know what I mean? And you'll cross paths here and there, or see like a comment on something on Facebook, or, you know what I mean, see them live or some shit. But that's not the same thing as seeing that person and seeing that individual in person.
Right.
It's not. It's not. I mean, it keeps you updated, but it's just one of those things where the touch and having that person's energy around you, and actually getting to see that person breathe and just the actual, because you can get but so many angles from a camera view right here. You can get but so much emotion from a video, or from, you know what I mean, from a video call, or whatever the case may be. It's just making me realize where it's like, there's people in my life that I'm gonna have to, but start like making a little more time, because I get so caught up in the routine and trying to just live right and keep my priorities in order that I'm overly doing it, where I'm not making time for the, like, people that I really cherish and are dear to me.
Yeah. Right. And so I was just, and we, what's so crazy, because we had a little bit, we talked about this when me and one of my coworkers talked about this today. And this is no disrespect to anybody or nothing like that, because I care about a lot of people. Like, like I said, I'm a loyal person. I'm a friend. All that. But when
I'm a little shiny.
When I lost my brother,
Yeah.
Right? That took so much out of me. It took so much out of me. Like as far as like, you know, when, because like that, like to me losing him was like I lost a big piece of myself. I lost a big piece of like my emotions. Like, so I cannot, and this is probably deep, but I can't grieve. Like I can't understand someone else's pain right now for loss. You get what I'm saying? Like I like as bad as I like me personally as a person, as a person, I feel bad.
The 48-year-old man child just walked into the building. Let me stop. Sorry.
I feel bad when somebody like your situation, right?
Yeah.
I felt like me being close, like being a friend and being close, and we're all this stuff, right? Like our relationship. I feel for you.
Yeah, and that's where
mentally
you couldn't.
I couldn't
grieve for
I couldn't feel for you. Like me expressing it, saying it, I feel for you, but my body, my mind allowing me to feel for you, it doesn't allow me to feel.
Because you're not through grieving, doing with your situation.
That's a possibility. Like, you know what I mean?
Because and that, because I can relate to that, because it's crazy, because it's like I lost a family member, and then you lost your brother.
Right.
And then I lost another family. It was like year after year after year.
Right.
Like literally. And that's the point where it was like, so I understand what you're saying, where it's like, you feel for me because your pain, and also like the situation. You feel for the situation, but it's still one of those things where it's like, what the grief that you went through is hard to actually feel, because it's like, damn, the loss of life, like that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. Like, damn, and I know he's going through it because I've gone through it, but I can't emotionally put myself in his position.
Right.
It's one of those. I definitely
that's
get
exactly.
that.
I mean, guys, too. If you ever felt that way, please, like, you know what I mean, chime in and stuff like that. Let me know, like, you know what I mean, or let us know. You ever feel that way, or is that normal? Is that like, you know what I mean? Because
remember the what's the name when we edited it and made it bigger in the settings. Remember, that's what we did. That's why everything was so big.
Oh.
Remember, we went through the settings and then just made it bigger. When I told you to go through go into the settings and
the font.
Yeah.
Okay.
You made. That's why it's popping up so small right now.
Shawnee, could you hand me that pad right there?
But yeah, not to change the subject, but because I'm having trouble like reading people's comments.
You heard about that girl getting killed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. And it's one of those things where I was watching, like, I didn't want to say anything about that. Like, I really didn't want to say anything about that.
Yeah, that girl. We'll talk about the girl who
in Chicago, who was found in a freezer after going out and partying with their friends. And there was like, people can say what they want, but at the end of the day, there's like you said, Sean, there's so much more to that story, and also there's things that are being placed and put out there, and that's actually not it. So until you actually look over the video repeatedly and you actually break down everything, and I was sitting here thinking that, and then this girl, I can't remember her name, this girl went on and she broke down everything that I seen, so I know I'm not the only one. And then when you go through all of the comments, it makes it more clear. So people are jumping to these short breakdowns and these short descriptions where it's like, okay, people are just being blamed, but you're not getting all of the information. Right. So as the information builds up, I didn't want to say anything, but it's like there's a thing where like, oh, if you look in the reflection, you can see some girl giving head. Like, no, you can't. It's no, she's not. That's the thing, is that she's not, though. No. That's the thing, because
that's what I'm saying. Your mind allows you to think whatever you want to think. Your mind is going to allow you to see that.
You want the results real fast.
Right.
That's the thing. They want this to be solved and done and over with. They said, like, oh, she is giving head. Like, no, there wasn't nobody giving head. There was somebody with their hand to their mouth, because you see the hand go up, then you see the hand go down. So that reflection of somebody giving head, that's not what it is. And then they're like, there's a girl that walked past. Like, that wasn't a girl. That was a dude in ripped jeans. That wasn't one of the girls. And then they're trying to blame all of the girls, and we're like, oh, she had on her coat. Like, no, there's a picture. They all had jean jackets on.
Yeah.
They all, and then they're like, oh, if you listen to it, they're like, well, she's on her phone. No, she's not. She's on the other girl's phone. She's not. And then they're sitting there like, well, she looked dead in the hotel room, but then they say that she was drunk and her friend picked her up and carried her out. Like, you can't be dead.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody want to make
and you can't be drunk, carried out while you were drunk, and you look lifeless. Like, it's too much going on. It's literally like, and the girl,
nobody knows.
This is what nobody knows, but this is what the conclusion when the girl broke it down with. This is my exact train of thought also, where it was like, yeah, her friend was feeling somebody, and she didn't want to go by herself, so she took her friend with her to go do whatever.
Yeah.
And literally, like, because there was so many people coming in and out of the room, it wasn't just them in the room, it was a party.
Right.
But you only seen a few people. Then you seen like people like ducked off. Like, I'm sorry, like
I didn't watch the video because I didn't want to get caught up in the hype.
And I didn't want to either. But it was one of those things where it was like, let me see what people are saying, so that I could draw my own conclusion. And at the end of the day, nobody's going to know until a full investigation is done and people actually start speaking.
If you're in Pittsburgh,
like,
or
there was girls that was there
Philly, or
commenting like, well, I don't know why she would take her friend out and she knew she was drunk. And it's the girl, everybody sitting there like, they all seen this happening. Like, no, like you can't.
You don't know.
And then there's
if you wasn't there, you don't know.
And you listen to it, and it's like you can't hear anything. Like you could barely hear it. You make out a few words and loud music going on and off. It's too much. But it like people are so quick to jump to conclusions. I'm just gonna say is that like my condolences to her and her family and everybody that's involved in this situation, especially to her because she didn't deserve that.
Right, Didi.
Period. She didn't deserve that.
Right, and and she seemed like a nice, sweet girl. Like
I don't know her.
I know that's what I said. I don't. Yeah,
I don't know her.
None of us know her. But I was just looking at her photo. But
she was a beautiful young lady.
Yeah,
I can say that.
She was.
Because I didn't see like no videos or her conflict. I didn't see anything. But she was a beautiful young lady that had a future ahead of her. That's what I can say. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, Kevin. We were talking about a little bit of empathy and stuff like that. But then somebody who's watching the show, you gotta chill with that drink, bro.
Yeah, because you.
But
ain't shit in there.
But
bro.
somebody had brought up the Chicago thing that's sitting with us and stuff. So we had switched gears a little bit to that.
But yeah, let's shift back.
Yeah,
but definitely like condolences to that girl's family and like man, may she rest easy.
Right.
Like we're talking about loss. Also.
Yeah, see, we are talking about loss, and that's why I spun off to that.
And it's one of those things where like literally, like we were saying, like I lost my cousin, and this was what made this situation with losing my cousin Game hard.
Yeah.
Because all right, growing up, like we met like blood couldn't make nobody no thicker. That's my family.
Right.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it comes down to. Like growing up, like their older cousin used to date my mom, all this other stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was one of the things where it was always me and Bud was thick as Steve, always going everywhere, doing everything together. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also Bud and my cousin Shaka Sheik. They were close,
Yeah.
so it was always all
right.
of us. Like we was fighting each other to learning how to fight, to learning how to dance, and they're like honestly, Bud's one of them people where he didn't give a shit about what nobody else think. He helped me open up and accept who I am. You know what I
Right.
mean? One of those situations. So when I lost, like when we lost, I can't say when we lost Sheik, it was damn. And I told this to my mom and everybody. It was like, I love y'all, like y'all was there for me, but when I lost him, I had Game.
Right.
To help me through that. Like, I
Right.
had him for
Yeah,
that. Like,
right.
we had to carry our cousin to the grave.
Right.
Like, we had to, like, you know what I'm saying? And then it turned around, like, you lost your brother. And I'm like, fuck, like, damn, like, this is bull.
Yeah,
like,
and that's really, even to go through that, and I would just want to say, too, we want to get to the topic that we had.
Yeah, definitely,
so we will get to that, but just, like, we was talking about loss and stuff like this, so that's where we're at right now. But when that stuff that happened to my brother, and maybe this is why, again, too, I feel this way, and I'm just opening up here. This is real. This is not no fake shit. I'm not doing it for the camera or none of this shit.
I'm not even sorry, y'all, but I'm not looking at the camera right now. This is an actual conversation.
I think for a while for me, and like, I'm not, only a few people know this, and I'm sharing this on here, but I think for a while, like even when it happened with my brother, and why I feel this way too, is just until recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like I blame myself for a lot of that. Like for just not even a lot of it, for it. Period. Like you know what I mean? Because if you know me and stuff like that, I grew up in Northview. You know where I live. I'm from Northview. Lived there my whole life until last year my brother got murdered. I moved in February, the end of February, March-ish. My brother died in August. So when that happened, I'm just like, and he died right across the street from where I stay. right across the
Where you
street from
stayed
where I stayed at, right across the street from where my mom currently stay. Right, so it's just like, you know, like he got shot, and it took a while, I guess, from the story from with the guy at the booth was telling me, who I'm real cool with, who's the, you know what I mean, no Northview, they got the people who got to let you in and shit. It was telling me it took a while for the police, because they didn't see nothing on camera for where my brother was at, but it took a while for them to see that, and I'm just thinking, like, you know what, if I still stayed there,
what could you have done?
I probably could have saved my brother's life. Like, you know what I mean?
I understand
I get that people to the
like,
people I talk
like
to.
I can't even say, because I understand that thinking, and it's one of those things where you're going to hear, don't put yourself in there because you don't know what you could have done. You
Right.
might have been out bowling, you might have been doing family stuff.
Right.
You don't know what you could have done.
But my logic
But
of
in your
thinking
head is, if you lived there, you could have been there.
my logic of thinking was like, hey, you know what, I was.
Or maybe you would have had him at your house instead of out.
Yeah, well, not even
knows?
at my house, but I would have been, because I had the in-house, so if that something happened, I would have been able to look, and then like from my house where I was at, I literally would have been able to see his body laying right there, like literally, like I wouldn't have had to look and go and try to find it. I would have seen it like straight from there.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, even when my mom go on her porch, if my mom go on her porch and just stand on her porch, like come off the door a little bit, just it's still in that little square, she would be able, like, even now, she looks out on that side of the street, you can see where his body was laying. So I think it was, like, for me, it was just like, you know what, damn, like, you know what, why did I move? Like, you know what I mean?
But it was one of those things
like
where
that.
it was the better thing for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And your family. Because, honestly, like, where you're at now is a better than the area where you are. Like, that's just being blatant and, you know what I mean, being honest. Yeah. So, excuse me. It's one of those things, like, you had to make that was your priority. Like, to get your kids out of it, because you knew what Northview's becoming and what it's coming to. Like, up here, it's redeveloped, so it's more controlled and there's more urgency to, like, manage up here. But yeah. Northview is just like, they threw them booths up and just keep these motherfuckers in here and keep those motherfuckers out. And whatever happens outside, ain't got to worry about it. Track who comes in. And whatever happens inside, fuck it. This is the projects anyway. Let it happen and then let it clear and then go in there and take care of the situations. Like, it's just been one of those.
I just want to read Justina's comment real quick. It says, she said, it's hard for me because it's been years and I lost. It's been years. And I haven't grieved in years. It says in 2009, when I lost my cousin, and when I was 5, I lost my father, and I've kind of come to a place where I don't know they are gone. Mm-hmm. It says, but it's hard. But I'm being strong for him as much as I can. I hope this was clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I was reading slow so I can make sure I don't twist the words because it was like a lot of doubles right there. But yeah, you know what? Just in like I you know, and I feel that, like, you know what I mean. And to me, like, my brother was the closest thing I ever lost in life, in life period. Like, I lost a couple of uncles who people say I resemble, and my uncle who I was close with, who I love spending time with. But that right there just was like it was so.
Because that literally hit home. Like,
yeah, it really
grew up. Like, you raised him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, y'all grew up together.
Right.
Like, it literally hit home.
Yeah, and it, like, you know what I mean. Again, too, it was just looking at the thought of, like, you know what I mean. I'm the older brother. That's my little brother. Mm-hmm. My responsibility. Yeah, is to look after him and to make sure he's okay. So, and that's what it was. And that shit ate me up for a while. Ate me up for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. And then, and like on my end, the turnaround whenever I lost my cousin Game, it turned into like, damn, like, we carried our little cousin. Now I got to carry my older cousin. Mm-hmm. Like, and to be honest, like, I wasn't ready for that. Because it was literally like I told all my family and everything, like, yeah, like, when we lost Sheik, I had him. Right. Period. Like, that's what it was. Now it's like, not to be rude to y'all, but who got me? Right. Because we had each other. Like, we had each other. Like, when I say, like, I had him, I mean, like, I had him to help me. He had me to help him. You know what I mean? That type of situation. Mm-hmm. But when he was gone, I was like, damn, like, and not to take nothing away from my brothers and sister and my mom and all, but it was literally like, this is a different situation. Mm-hmm. Like, it just turned into a different situation. And that's just crazy. But yeah, like, to everybody dealing with loss and dealing with definitely made it. Condolences to your losses and those family members that you lost. Like stay strong and try to stay positive and try to make a difference. That's the best thing that you could do, is make a difference and make a change. And that's the best thing that my older cousin said was, don't let these deaths be in vain. Make a change.
Yeah.
Definitely,
So,
like try to make a change. We can make these streets better. Is what I'm going to say, because there's too many people being killed from senseless violence. Like literally, like that's us too. In the last 3 years, lost close family members, a brother and 2 cousins to the streets. Literally, everybody that we were just talking about, all of them have been murdered.
Right. Yes, it literally is. So, again, too. So I know a lot of you guys probably, you know what I mean, y'all.
We're not trying to be a downer, but it's just one of those things where we had to be addressed, and once that situation in Chicago opened up that door for us to actually talk about, because I really haven't talked to nobody about this. But that's just how I'm feeling right now. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where, like, I try to come on here and still talk and smile and have this little thing and still do my regular routines and stuff. But, like, shit, I'm still, trying to recover. Yeah, like, it's just one of those things where, like, shit, I wasn't even done recovering from my cousin before, from 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Right, so, and it is hard. It is hard. It is hard. So, we're about to talk about some more stuff that I feel like it's going to be deep.
Definitely.
So
all right, now going into the topics that we posted earlier.
Yeah, the topic, the questions and stuff like that. And it's titled Family Dynamic, or Family Dynamics.
And also, before we start talking, take a moment, hit the share button, and invite some people if you can.
Please do that. Let people know that we're here. But the first question is it more damaging for a black male to be solely raised by a single mother, or to have a father / male figure who is a bad role model?
No, wait, run that one more time.
Okay. Is it more damaging for a black male, young black male, to be solely raised by a single mother, or...
Okay, damaging. That's the part that I needed to hear. It's worse because this is what I'll say, is that a woman can teach a man to be a great human being. But by not living as a man, you can't really teach him to be a man. Now, not taken away from, you can teach him your ideas of what a man should be, but that's blanketed around you. So I would prefer you to teach them to just be a good person, because I personally feel like a man should teach a man. But when you say what's more damaging, having a father around is a bad role model, because a lot of sons look up to their dad. So if you're doing wrong, you are going to lead that. You're more likely, I'm not going to say, because there's exceptions to the rules always, but you're more likely to lead your son down the wrong path. So I would say the more damaging thing would be having a father around is just a bad role model. Now, if it's one of those things where he's like, he doesn't let his son be around that stuff, but I'm assuming you're saying like he's just all out fucked up in front of his son sees all the fucked up shit that he does, period. If that's the case, it's more damaging to have a father around that just don't give a fuck and is teaching you wrong, completely wrong.
Right.
And like I always say, there's always the exception to the rule, but you're more likely to get into this cycle and go down this path of wrongdoing if you have this father figure that's just teaching you wrong and being a horrible role model to you.
Yeah.
Personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you know what? That is wow. So I'm sorry, Mel, too. I just seen one of your comments from earlier. Yeah, and I agree with you. I do agree that it is more damaging to have a negative male role model or a negative father in a child's life than being raised by their mom, by a single mother.
And like I'm saying, not to take nothing away from the single mothers, you can raise great human beings, and those are aspects that a male would need. But you're not a man.
It goes vice versa too. Like, you know what I mean? Even if you have a guy who's raising a daughter, like, you know what I mean, he can't teach her how to be a woman.
He can only teach her how a man's supposed to treat her and how she should like respect herself. But you can't teach her how to be a woman.
Right.
Because you're not a woman,
right? And it's and so like I said, I agree with you. I think that we need to like especially with men. I think a lot of men are even like even with gangs and stuff like that. I think eventually all that stuff will be weeded out. I'm hoping it will be. It would have been weeded out if we had a lot in our culture and in our race. If we had a lot more men in our children's lives who were positive.
Exactly.
And it's not saying, and it's not saying positive like, oh, never do never do the wrong thing type of, like, you know what I mean, type of thing. But like, you know what I mean, because we all make mistakes. We're all human. But we need more men. Even if you don't have kids and you're somebody's uncle and you could play that role, you can fill in that gap right there. Like, you know what I mean? Or if you don't have your own kids, but you're playing stepfather, like, you know what I mean, or whatever like that. Still be a positive role model again, like you said, because you're teaching this child how to be a man, how to treat a lady, how to how to raise kids, and just how to be supportive and loving from a male's perspective and emotions,
exactly,
and mind, like, you know what I mean, just everything from a male's. Yeah, everything. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like we do need that more, especially in our culture and stuff. Like, it's not, it's like, it's now, and nowadays, now I look, like, you know what I mean? Because I can't talk about the past generations. I can just talk about our generation. Our generation. And when I look at that, it's just like, like, I even my friends and whoever, or people I went to school with, and if I see them, or people that I know, and I see you not in your child's life, it's just like, damn, bro. Like, I know for a fact, we sat down and had conversations about this, like, about our like, you know what I mean, not having your father and being up, like, you know what I mean, just wanting the love from your father and just wanting that positive male role model, like, you know what I mean, in your life that's there with you daily. Like, you know what I mean, we know what that's like, you know what I mean, again, too, like, this, and we're talking about this is no knock to none of our fathers or anything like that, but boys need that. Boys need that.
Definitely.
Like, you need that, and you gotta, they want it, they search for it, and that's why they look into even some of these people. You know what? Some dude who just, like, every time they see him, give him $20, even though he may be negative. He's like, yeah, you know what? He be looking out for me. And then now they want to be just like him.
Yeah.
Because now, like, even in their mind, like, you know what I mean, to them, to everybody else, it might be negative, but to him, that's positive. And then
because it's like,
he's going to want to grow up and be like him
for me in some type of way.
Oh yeah, I want to do for a kid like he did for me, and then so that means I got to do this and hit the streets and
start connecting dots that may not be the right path. I mean, like, if you really sit there and take a moment to think about it, there are so many genius children out there that are being led down the wrong path, that are so talented that just don't have the opportunity because they weren't taught how to communicate or taught how to express themselves, or they were denied a certain type of like affection that they craved, but it was never given to them, so they didn't know how to pursue it later. And that's a real issue with a lot of people, like, nowadays, like, seriously, where it's like they really don't know how to express themselves. Like, I had the opportunity, like, I didn't used to talk about how I feel, but I grew up and I learned that, like, man, you're not going to get your point across unless you open your mouth.
Right.
Nobody's going to know how you feel or how you think unless you open your mouth. And also, mean what you say when you say it. Like, if and like, there's a lot of things where people will say, like, oh, can you do this? And I'm like, all right. And they're like, you know what I mean? Like, no, I know what you said.
Yeah.
And it's that simple. And that was one thing that, like, as my dad taught me that important lesson, where I if you want something, ask for that. If you want to borrow something, know the difference between borrowing and wanting, because don't ask me to borrow. Like, I owe my dad $200. He kept track. I know him owe him $200 to this day, because all of the, can I borrow $40? Can I borrow $20? Can I borrow?
You gotta keep.
And it's like, yeah, you owe me.
Yeah, you gotta keep up with your stuff. This Mel's comment was like, she said, when it comes to being a single parent, any role model is a good. I mean, any role model is a role model. Says they can be negative, which if you pay attention, you'll learn what not to do. That was one of Mel's comments, and she also said, I honestly believe there are rarely any negative role models as far as kids. Kid to adult ratio. I'm sorry. Most adults naturally want good for their kids. It's those rare instances.
And those are the instances that we're talking about. Because
peer pressure is the real killer. When there's not enough role models to go around to keep the flow positive. I'm sorry.
Yes, and that's it's hard. And let's be honest, there are some great adults out here, but right now, from what I've been exposed to, and I'm just going to say from like the neighborhoods that need the most help, there's not that many positive influences in those neighborhoods.
Right.
We're literally like, there's a few. Like if you go up north, you'll have like a preacher, Baldy, and like 4 other people. But the majority of people up there aren't doing right.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the bad outweighs the good. So if you have like like I said, there's always exceptions to the rule, but the majority of sons want to be like their dads, and they end up following the path of their dad. Then you'll have the few where it's like, well, I got peer pressured in the streets. Yeah, there's some of them. But the majority of them is like, I don't want to disappoint my dad. I'm going to go this route. I'm going to try to be like him. So when you're clumped in an area where there's a lot of negativity, and I get there could be good and bad role models and this, that, and the third. But we're talking about the bad role models. And usually the bad role models influence the bad people. You know what I mean? There's a few exceptions that lean left where it's like, I can't do that. But the majority is like, yeah, I'm going to do that because that's what I've seen. That's what I know. Just like when it comes to like, and that's another thing where it was like, a lot of parents aren't letting their kids be kids because they're trying to live through their child and try to give their child what they wanted, not realizing what their parents were trying to do for them, letting you stay a child and remain a child while you're a child and not putting you ahead of your time. Like literally, like I remember like when we grew up, we used to wear corduroys and the fucking sandals with the toes out. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, and Mel, I think Mel agreed with you. Mel said there's not enough, and that's the issue. Drew said the big thing nowadays is respect and discipline. Kids don't respect their own parents,
because
let alone
too busy trying
a role model outside of their home.
And that's being honest.
The lack of discipline makes these kids feel like they don't have to listen to anybody.
Exactly,
and I agree with that.
Yes, because you have a lot of parents that are willing to let their child disrespect other adults,
right?
But then be surprised when their child won't respect them. You're teaching them that if that person does this, you respond like this. Right. So when you do it, it shouldn't be a shocker when your child's like, "Fuck you, bitch," and you're like, "I'm your mother." Like, well, you taught me that if that person disrespects me, to demand my respect and say what's on my mind and disrespect them and hurt them twice as much as they hurt me and talk back and this, that, and the third.
Right, and especially when it's an adult, man. Like, 'cause, you know, like even nowadays, like I said, I brought this example up numerous of times, but even kids, like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew for a fact, if somebody came to tell my mom I did something wrong, I'm getting my ass whooped.
Oh, I didn't know that. Not that, but... Like, I had a more of an open, and I couldn't, man,
Well, I'm not going to say, look, this is what I say. I'm not going to say I don't deserve it, because 9 times out of 10, I did some wrong shit. Like, I did some wrong shit. Like, I ain't going to lie.
Like, if I did something wrong, but my mom and my dad always gave me the opportunity, where it's like, you can tell me the truth, but this is what's said. Now, I want you to know, if I catch you lying, this shit's going to be 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
So you could go to court, but it's up to you to hope you get away with it type deal. Like, damn, I'm not gonna beat this case or an all type deal.
Yeah, that's right. You know, and Mel brought up another good point. Mel, I'm loving your comments. But Mel said that's because the last generation let discipline slide, and now the new generation don't believe in discipline. They give kids way too much freedom.
Yes, because you're trying to live through your child, and you're trying to be your child's friend. I see this too many times where it's like,
that is deep,
where people put, "I'm my child's friend." Like no, you're your child's parent.
Right.
You're the parent. Like you as a parent, your child can come to you. You should never try to bring yourself down to be a friend. Like, quit trying to create these tiers. I'm their friend. I'm their everything. Like, because you're not.
Right.
You can't be it all. Either you're going to be a parent or a friend. And if you're going to be a friend, don't be upset when they treat you as a friend and they don't know the difference between friend time and parent time.
Right. You can't be upset at
because you created that.
You cannot be upset at that. And this
no, you can be upset, But oh, the fuck well, because you created that scenario.
But that's what I'm saying. In my eyes, you can't be upset because that's what you created. Why be upset with your creation? That's what you was. That's what you wanted. But to Mel's comment, like you know what, I believe that's when it started to go down. Like, you know what I mean, for that one parent was like, oh yeah, you know what, I'll never do this, or I didn't like this one little piece, so that's gonna make me change everything about parenting that person parent, because that your parent may not have did a lot of things that was super negative, or probably not that many things that was that positive. But at the same time, like, don't that doesn't mean you don't discipline. And I think that's what happened.
There's a template for a reason for you to sit there and tweak and mold it, but you don't just like, you can start over from scratch, but you see what the fuck's happening when you're throwing the whole thing out and you're just trying to go with this. I'm not going to do anything, and that shit's backfiring on you. And we're seeing it over and over again. You can't be your child's friend. Well, you can, and deal with and hope that your child respects you the whole time. But majority rule is that, like, when you put yourself in a friend's position, they're going to treat you how they treat their friends. Quit trying to be their friend. You're not their friend, because you're more than that. And you need to take pride in that. And you think like, oh, well, I didn't want to tell my parent anything because that was my parent and I was scared and I was this, that, and the third. Like, maybe because that your parent didn't know how to communicate. Then change the communication. Don't label yourself a friend. Don't stop being a parent. Don't let your child get away with this, that, and the third. Like, oh, I'm gonna let her drink because that's the cool thing to do, and I'm my child's friend, and we're gonna go out and party, and we're gonna do this, that, and the third. Like, not like you can hang with your child, but you shouldn't be partying with your child every other weekend and this, that, and the, like. Come on now, y'all sitting here letting your child. Y'all are establishing a friendship relationship, then getting upset because friends argue and fall out all the fucking time. And then you're upset because your child no longer sees you as their mother. Now they see you as their friend. And then you're wondering why your friend's why she's disrespecting you. Well, she's disrespecting her friends too. Like, y'all aren't understanding that stuff. Like, and you're taking this more deep into the heart because, oh, I'm her mom, she should respect me. Well, you should have demanded that the whole time. Period. Demand the respect as a parent, but also open the lines of communication. Don't sit there and be like, I'm not my son's friend, but he can talk to me. Like, it's that simple. I'm not your friend. I'm never going to be your friend. Now you could do what you want with that, but I'm never going to be your friend. Well, you could be your child's friend and father. No, you can't. No. Because once you set that standard, you're creating a moment.
What you can be is a role model and someone your kid trusts and respects. That's what you can be, and that's all you can. If you try to be anything less, I think that's kind of. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. But, like, you know what I mean, if something happened or something goes sideways or bad, like, you know what I mean, then, you know what I mean, like, you got to look at. That's your friend. Yeah. You got to look at that. Like, you know what I mean? So, but that's your friend. So, like, you know what I mean? If they start calling you bros instead of calling you dad or pops or whatever like that, that's what you asked for. Or
if they're not actually thinking about what they're about to say to you, and they're just like flat out like, fuck you, nigga. And you can see pure rage and animosity in their eyes, and you're wondering like, yo, I'm your dad, or oh, I'm your mom. Like no, you're their friend, and you've set those grounds. So don't get upset when they get upset with you the same way they get upset with their friends. I'm done with that one.
So all right. So the next question: has your child ever made you feel low or like you were a bad parent?
It was my child.
Yeah,
he tried, but let me think before I even answer. It's like, he hasn't done it because I understand as a child he doesn't know what I'm actually doing, but I've done it to myself. So no matter what he's saying, it's like, but you don't understand what I've done to get you in this situation. Like, come on now. Yeah. But I've come down to myself where, like, damn, like, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I need to work more hours because he's not having. But at the same time, I feel like I need to stop doing overtime because I feel like I'm not doing enough time. Like, I'm always beating myself up. Right. But and I think when he says some shit as a parent, I'm like, you don't know what the fuck I do for you.
So I think you might like this, but you, like, with the situation and everything happening, you might not. But I mean, and you know what? And I felt that way because I think, especially as men, right? I think we are our own critics because of, like, you know what I mean, trying to live up to
a great standard as a man.
Standard, yeah, as a man,
personally,
or even your own expectations, trying to live up to that. So this happened yesterday.
Oh, that's where this fucking question came from.
Yeah, so this happened.
Who did it? We could go in that next room and fuck them up.
No, because it was
it
was understanding and you know what I mean. But me being a father, like I know my sons, right? So, but again, too, like it had me for a minute. It's just like I almost balled out. But I make fun of my mom a lot, right? Mm-hmm. So I make fun of my mom, the way how she say my sons, like just everything. I talk about my mom's voice, because you better not, like, you know what I mean? I do all that shit, right? So my mom calls to my son a nickname, and she calls him Gan Baby and stuff like that. So I do her voice and call him Gan Baby. So yesterday we coming out from dinner and stuff like that, we're outside and we're making fun of my mom. Remember, he hates it with a passion. But one of his friends was outside and I did that voice, and like, you know what I mean, he was trying to get in the house and we're playing, like we're thinking we're all playing and stuff like that. So then he come in the house and just like, oh, you embarrassed me and you're ruining my whole life because
okay, yes, I haven't done that yet, but now I get where you're saying, like,
yeah, so
you felt bad, like, damn, like I wasn't trying to,
and I wasn't, but it was just like, you know what I mean, with his friends, it's just like, oh, that nickname is embarrassing, because he only likes it if his grandma calls him, it's fine. Anybody else, anybody else he doesn't, because he's like, nicknames are embarrassing, and I'm like, they're not, like, so anyway, he goes through that and he's like, no, and you're just ruining my life, you don't understand, it's hard, and he starts explaining all this stuff. And remember, he's smart as fuck, I know, like, he's real smart, but so he starts saying all this stuff, I gotta do so much, and he was breaking down school and like, oh, I gotta do work, and then when at school I gotta get up for school, I gotta do all my classwork, I gotta do my homework, I gotta clean my room and stuff like that. But I'm talking to him like, you know what, them is your responsibilities. You gotta do that. You gotta go to school. I gotta go to work. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta clean your room. Like, you know what I mean? I gotta clean my room. Like, you know what I mean? I gotta clean, like, you know what I mean? And this is all stuff that I had to do as a child. But he's like, you know, now because, like, he heard that name, then he's gonna tell other people that name, and then people's gonna pick on me and stuff like that. And he's real, I mean, my son is real, like, he wants to fit in. He wants to be everybody's friend. He wants to be everybody's friend. That's just who he is. He wants to be like me, because he sees me. I'm a friendly person. I'm super friendly. I'm cool with everybody. But he wants to be everybody's friend.
Definitely, and me, our son's got that in common.
Right. So he does that. He's like, yeah. Then they're all gonna start calling me names, and then I'm gonna start getting bullied, and people already do stuff to me, mean stuff to me, and then now it's gonna happen even more. And then so it made me feel bad, because I'm like, damn, did I just put him in this situation? Am I really ruining his life?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And then he's just like, yeah. Then so then Tootie goes to talk to him and just say, like, hey, you know what? We try hard to do things for you guys. We try real hard to do stuff for you. Yeah. Do we not get you everything you want?
Or at least try.
Yeah. See, but he heard everything, and then he said, no, you don't get us everything we want. Not really, because that's the question she asked. Literal. Yeah, he took it literal. But and then so like now I'm sitting there like, you know, because he made me, he said, yeah, you're just ruining my life. And I'm like, damn, I'm not really ruining your life. It was a joke. People say jokes, you got to learn how to rip back, and I'm trying to teach them. So people say stuff to you all the time. Like, you know, when people say jokes, people rip and stuff like that. You got to learn how to, like, joke back, rip back, and stuff like that. Then he's like, no, I'm going to get in trouble in school because now he cares about what the teacher thinks and stuff like that. Yeah. So it goes into all that. And so we're sitting there, the whole Santa Claus thing. Boom, this came out yesterday.
What?
This
Y'all
Santa,
finally?
Yeah, I said, you know what? If I'm ruining your life, or you think I don't care about you, you know what I mean? I said, look at all this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I pay the bills. If I don't, I'm like, you got to, and I was telling him, you got to do this stuff, right? Because that's your responsibility. As a child, that's your responsibility. Go to school, make sure your room's clean and stuff like that. And as a parent, my responsibility is to go to work and provide a roof and pay all the bills so we can live, and so we're not out living on the streets. And because I asked him, say, what happens if I don't go to work? You can't pay the bills and we'll be on the streets, right? So if I don't do that, I let you. Then I'm ruining your life. I'm ruining all of our lives. Yeah. Because it's
and then also it was one of those things where it's like, we teased you about, like, when you chipped your fucking tooth for, like, you
right. I said, look, I told him I got picked on when I was a kid, and I learned how to rip. That's how Daddy knows how to joke a lot, right? But then I'm sitting there, so I told him, I said, look, when you ask for all that stuff for Christmas, guess what? Santa don't bring you that shit. Daddy worked real hard for that shit.
Damn.
Dad and mom worked real hard for that to get you that
Shit.
stuff. And then oh my gosh, I wanted to. I felt like shit. I'm gonna be honest. I felt like shit because it's like
the one thing you said you wasn't gonna do.
Right.
You pulled that motherfucker like a Trump card. Why would you do that?
Because like it's
after
just
I
like,
sat here and I was talking you into it.
I was trying to get him to understand that like as parents,
then he was like, you know what? Santa ain't real, nigga. I do it. Damn.
No, but I was trying to
want you to do it like that.
I know, and I felt bad when I did it like that. But I'm
now
like,
you made me feel bad.
I was trying to get them to understand that as parents, we do a lot, and a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you don't know that you appreciate so much. But you're thinking somebody, and it's not the fact that he thinking that he does that. Santa Claus does that. That's not why I was doing it. Like, oh no, you want to give credit to Santa Claus, but it's my ass. No, but it's letting them know how hard we really work
to get stuff done to make things happen. Yeah,
like you know what I mean, to get him the new shoes. Even like the year before that, when he's been picked on about his shoes and stuff like that, he wanted J's. I didn't want to buy him no damn Jordans. I don't believe in buying kids Jordans. I don't believe in I will not spend money on J's or Jordans.
Outbound for him, like I don't buy it, but my thing is like because there's some give and take. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to. I let him earn the Jordans and earn this stuff. I'm not just going to be out buying you the newest shoe because everybody else got the newest shoe. Like, I'm not that parent. Mm-hmm. True. Like, I'm just not doing do that. But I try to also instill, like, the learning of, like, try to stretch your money. Like, if you go into a store and I'm like, all right, boy, you got $100. You can get the $115, $125 Jordans or the $100 Jordans, the new whatever just came out. Or you can take a moment and look on these fucking look at all these red tags, motherfucker. Right. Look at the $30 right there. Damn, and them is the Jordans they was out last year, but ain't nobody got them no more. Them joints over there is $50, and they nice as hell. Like and those over there, you can get 3 pair for what you're trying to jump at because you see everybody else with it. But then you're gonna see those as raggedy in 2 months, and you're rotating 3 pair of shoes. Everything's still fresh. Like I'm trying to teach him that thing where it's like, and if you don't see nothing on here, then go ahead and get those. Yeah. But take a moment before you jump on the newest thing to actually see what's here.
Like, you know what I mean? You can get more for your buck or whatever like that. Like, hey, you know what? Oh, you know what? Because you save money on here, maybe you get 2 pair of shoes. But, again, to people commenting, this ain't about if Santa, like, the fact of telling them if Santa's real or not. I was going to think about that was a topic every year, like because my kids believe one more year, like you know what I mean. But it wasn't about that. But my thing was I was going to let them believe until they didn't believe anymore. Like you know what I mean. I didn't want nobody else to do it for them. Like last year.
So both of them know now.
Oh yeah, because then after that, then
George went straight in
George was in his room and then
depressed and shit.
So no, he didn't even hear it. He didn't hear it until Tootie came out. So how do you feel about Santa being fake? And he's like, Santa's real. Like, you know what I mean? So we just.
Why are y'all cursing Jews left and right?
But no, I tried to save it because I'm like, you know what? If you believe Santa's real, then Santa's real. Nobody can tell you what you believe in your heart.
Mary's like, bullshit.
He just told me. Mary was distraught.
He was done.
I'm sorry, guys. Like, when you was putting in your comments, I couldn't see it because I had minimized the thing to read the question. So that was crazy. And that was a moment for me. I didn't think I would ever reach that point to where, because I'm like, yeah, you know what? We have so much, like, we have a bond.
Fucking Santa.
But, you know what?
And I was never up for that. I always been tell him from the jump.
So the next question is, how do you feel about your child needing support that you possibly can't give? And when I say this, let me reframe this. Like, you know what I mean? They might need help from somebody else. There might be something that you're not strong at. Or even, too, in our culture, too, and you know what I mean? I'm a proud... I believe that mental health is real. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's however you want to take this question, you take it how you want to take it. But how do you feel about your child
needing support that I can't give?
That you can't give.
When it comes to 2 different things, where it's like a simple thing that I don't know, I take that as a learning experience for both of us. This is we're like I told you, like that thing I had us listen to last week from Jocko. Yeah. Like, good. Like, come on, we can figure this out. Yeah. But if it's something that it's like, I literally can't, I refuse to handicap my son. Right. So I'm going to go above and beyond and try to get that support that he needs. Like, I'm not going, like, I don't feel bad about, like, I feel good because it's one of those things where it's like, Finally, we figured out what's wrong. Now this makes things easier for you.
Right.
So how do I feel about that support? It's a relief because I found the answer. So I feel good about
personally, do you believe in mental health or do?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Okay,
Like,
no, I'm just asking because some people be like,
mental disabilities, and depression, and ADHD, and all
ODD, whatever.
Yeah, I believe in that. Like now, every child's not on ADHD, and they're just throwing people on that fucking medicine. But
it is the most overdiagnosed.
Diagnosis. But there are where it's literally where a micro dose, because people are throwing their kids on high dosages and turning their children into zombies. Like, no, start from the bottom and micro dose where your child's able to manage themselves and they're able to gain a sense of self-control until they get older and more mature to where it's like, okay, you have more responsibility now.
Right.
So don't just sit there and zombify your child and then wonder why when they miss their medicine, there's such a wild fluctuation from what they were doing to when they're on the medicine and you don't know what to do when they miss the medicine. Like microdosing to where they can regain, like they're still themselves, but they're there more. Right. They're more focused.
Right.
Like, don't dumb your child out with medicine. Help them with medicine.
Right.
I believe in medicine.
Yeah, me too. But I am a.
I don't believe in false diagnosis and over medicating. Right. That's a major issue. And
even with that, you can see if it's making your child worse or whatever like that. Justina said, just to summarize one of her comments, she said that she sucks at math. And she, so she gets somebody to help her daughter with math. Also, Justina, if you see something that's a good comment or something like that, because you're on the Common Conversation page, could you just please hit that little pin button? I think you can on there. Hit the pin button. I think it will save on here or something like that.
Or bring it up to the forefront.
So like me, there's a lot of things that I sit there and I had to do, and even me and Tootie had this discussion a few times, like with George, right? George is, George, he's hyper. All George do is move. When people say, "Oh, even in school, like he's been like that since he was younger," and the teacher was like, "Oh no, he's just a kid. He's going to burn it all out and stuff like that." Now George is in 3rd grade. Right?
He was a kid
last year, and the year before last. I'm buying uniform pants all the way until the 2 days before school is about to end.
Because he's fucking up the uniform.
Because he's ripping them up, and he's so hyper, he's so moving. The teacher's saying he can't be still, he don't focus and stuff like that. And it's not about, I'm quick to put my son on medicine, or I'm quick to but I know there's something. It's something more. It's not just about being like he can't control it, and it's not about, for one, I'm not in for the fucking check or none of that shit. I'm not in it for none of that. But I want to make sure my son gets help, and I don't care about people say, "Oh, nah, I'm not labeling my child" and stuff like that. You know what? But if you let it go uncontrolled, like some kids can go off the rail, it could be a lot. So I'd rather try to get the support. But me and Tootie really had to sit down. We had this conversation, and I've been saying it for years, since preschool. But I think it was last year. Then it was just we both she finally, because it's not something I'm gonna just go behind her back and do. It's something we both got to believe in. It's both for our child.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
we finally was like, we're going to go pursue to get him help. And stuff like that, because this is something we can't. I know for a fact that we can't control it in the house. We can tell him to sit. Like George used to go wake up at 7 a.m, and I bullcrap you not. If you don't make him take a nap or something like that, he'll stay up until 4 or 5. No sleep, no nothing.
Oh, so like 7 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Yep.
And fucking just sleep for 3 hours and up again.
Yep. But that's how I am.
Yeah,
that's literally how
he gets it.
But that's how I am. And it took me I had to take medicine, honestly, to mellow me out, even during the day for work now. Like I got medicine downstairs, adult mental health medication.
Because you're crazy.
No, because I'm about hyper as fuck.
And
even me, when we talk about mind racing,
caffeine,
I gotta get
I
gotta get stuff to slow, to bring me back, to slow me down.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because you use it you're not being dolled out bad, and you're using it to help you. You're not over medicating, and that's a great thing. If you can work your way off of it, that's a great thing. But if you use it the way it's supposed to be used, that's also a great thing. Don't sit there and think that medication is a handicap. When it's abused, it's a handicap. But if you're using it properly and it's helping you, manage yourself and manage life, you're good.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean. Drew made this comment. He said ADHD, ass whoopings do hurt, dumbass. That was a funny comment. It says, Hold up.
Jesus, Drew. I can't stand you. What's up, Britt Brown? What's up, Tyler?
and right, like so. Melanie said, when it comes to mental health, we need to educate ourselves. It's real. We need to stop the labeling. Labeling only exists because of insecurities and ignorance. Right? Exactly. Exactly. And
you should go dropping knowledge, Mel.
Yeah.
Where you been at for a year and a half?
I've been trying to get Mel to come on the show. Mel won't come to the show. But
I know.
Yeah, but I mean, and that's some real stuff. That is some real stuff.
It definitely is.
And so before, because we're like right here, and so I got to get this next question in here.
Where'd everybody go?
I don't know what happened.
Like everybody was just said,
yeah.
"Fuck y'all."
Yeah. So it says, how do you feel about another adult correcting your child?
See, now there's a difference between correcting and parenting. Understand your role as an adult and a corrective action.
Right.
But don't sit there and don't put your hands on my child. And don't sit there and talk down to my child. Now, if you're sitting there telling them the right thing, and you can be even like stern while telling them, but don't disrespect my child. That's my whole thing.
So what is this? So say for instance, boom, somebody seen your son running across, and we'll say your son's younger, or even now, your son now, his age. What? That's why. I don't know what happened, but we lost our live feed.
Thank you, Coach.
Damn.
Wow.
Check the That's bullshit. But we're still on. Give us one moment. We just had Facebook go down. You people in the podcast world, but we're just give us a quick moment, and we'll be back. Also over on YouTube. Just give us a moment.
give us a second. I'm not sure if we're still live or anything like that. Justine didn't reach out to you. It's still showing that we're live on my screen. We're just lagging. Oh no, you're lagging. We're still in the one part. We're still just looping around in here. But this is what I'll say, and let's just go on with the show. And so somebody's seen your child
run across the street,
and they say, and that car came past, and they say, well, yes, ain't even fucking look both ways. Like, you know what I mean? Is that disrespectful?
Now, if you don't know my child, you shouldn't be talking to my child like that. But
right.
My thing is like, if you were like, hey, look, come on now, you need to watch what you're doing. You could have died just now. But when you're sitting there like you're just cussing at my child, no, you're doing too much.
I don't like, so to me, I don't.
And that's where, and it's one of those things where like, hey, you little fucker, watch what you're doing. Don't talk to my son like that.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Like, don't talk to my son. But if you're like, hey, what, you know, you almost lost your fucking life.
That's what I'm about to say.
Like,
me as a person, like, I'm a cusser, so I'll be like, hey man, you guys need to look both ways because you almost got fucked up by that car. I may say it loudly, but I'm not meaning no disrespect. I mean, honestly, I would be treating somebody else's child how you talk to your child. How I would talk to my kids, like, because you never know. Especially
but my thing is,
people might care because they'll be so scared and they're in shock.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean.
I get what you're saying, but me personally, I don't do that because like I don't know how your parents. I can't treat you like my child because you're not my child, but I can treat you like a child, and I see there's a difference. They're like. If you're a teacher, you're not going to talk to those kids in school the same way you talk to your child at home. And that's how I try to approach each situation outside. It's like, whoa, like you doing too much. Like and granted, teachers cuss too, but they're never cussing at you or just like most teachers, because there's some asshole fucked up teachers. But most teachers ain't just going, you know what I'm saying, like just disrespect you until they're going to be like, whoa, like yo, like calm, like they might even say like calm your ass down. You almost died just now.
You're right.
But if you just like hey, you little fucker, watch what you get what I'm saying? Like you wasn't doing that as a learning or trying to help that child. You were doing that was like an annoyance to you, so you're mad. Right. There wasn't no trying to teach or it's like whoa, like because like if you said like oh you better watch your ass because you almost got fucked up. That's coming off as like trying to let you know. And there's parents that's out here like basically where it leads to. Hey, little fucker, you better watch what you're doing. If you was my child, I'd beat your ass. I'm
about to say even my response if
you're doing too much.
If I yell and I'm yelling at your kid for not looking both ways, best believe I'm walking with your child because I'm telling. I'm letting them know. I'm coming to tell.
Toka's the snitch of the universe.
Nah, for real, because like I mean because me personally, I would want somebody to come tell me if my kids did that shit.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? I would.
Yeah, we figured that out. Take your ass back over to Facebook.
No, don't do that to Justina.
Because she goes laughing at us. Look at her.
Yeah. No, but that's
talking
real,
about my skipping and shit.
Yeah, that's real stuff though.
Yeah,
like,
but
you
if
know
you're
what I
sitting there like, and even I get it, like adults cuss, but if you're getting disrespectful, that's where it ends. Like yes, like do the corrective action for an adult letting a child know that they're wrong, but don't sit there and like that's where it goes as far as with the old school ways, where there's like, oh, my neighbor used to beat my ass. My neighbor better not touch my child. But you can scald my child and let them know they're fucking up. And then if you don't know my child, know your limits. You know what I mean? But still, you're an adult, and that my child should be respecting you. But my son is respectful, and I know him. So if he's disrespectful, usually he has a reason to be. But that's still no excuse.
Right.
I still scald him nonetheless. But I'm gonna still scald you too. Like yo, you're wrong. That's an adult. You need to get your shit straight.
Even
you know
with
what I
that,
mean?
even with that. Now, how do you feel about if somebody did, say for instance, said something wrong that was disrespectful? Do you disrespect them? Do you disrespect them in front of your child, or would you be like, okay, I got this. Go ahead to the house.
See, now that's where if my house is in the area where it's like
Yeah.
yes.
Right.
But if it's one of those things where like say if I'm over here and somebody disrespect my child, like
Yeah, you'll be like,
I'm gonna
like go.
try to. You know what I mean? Like, send him to here. But if it's literally, like, out in the open, I can't do anything, it's one of those things where it's like... Because there's some stuff... Because it depends on the situation and scenario and what I'm going through. Because there's sometimes where I can't control myself.
Right. And
that
if you're not upset,
needs to be addressed right then and there. But then there's other times where I'm just like, son, I'm going to teach you something. Just like, literally, there was a time where like, we went to Papa's. And they're... Like, I always... Like... If there's a learning experience, I try to take advantage of it. Like, so literally where I taught, like, we was at Popeyes, and their credit card thing went down. So they just gave us our food, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to run across the street to the ATM. I'll be back with cash. So they was sitting there, like, didn't expect me. Like, I went and pulled the money out, came back, boom. They're like, oh, no, you ain't have to do all that here. Keep your money. I'm like, no, I'm trying to teach my son. Pay your debts.
Right.
Pay your debts.
Right.
Be grateful, because if this was my last $25, like last $20, I would have been gracious of you giving me this for free. But I have the money, so allow me to pay my there's because I believe in accepting charity and also not taking advantage of charity.
Right.
So if I needed it, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't need it, so let me pay my part.
Right.
Let me do my part.
Right. And I can agree with that. And I can agree with that. Hey, you know what, guys? Hey, that's our show for today. It was a good show, good conversation. We covered a lot of stuff. It was good. I think we conversed. It was the dialogue was good.
It was everything.
It was everything. It was good. And next week, not sure what we're gonna be talking to you guys about, but if you have any suggestions for a topic or anything like that, feel free to email us at commonconversation412@gmail.com or go on our fan page, Common Conversation 412 on Facebook, and you can inbox it to us. We will respond back to you, email or via Facebook Messenger. Again, too, we are live every Monday at 6:30 ish, 6:30 to 6:40 ish. Live on Facebook and YouTube. All you got to do is search Common Conversation 412. And if you want to share this show, and some people, like, you know, you want to listen to it while you're driving, look us up on iTunes and Google Play Music. And it's right there.
We got the Podcast Addict app and a couple other apps.
All you got to do is search Common Conversation 412. That 412 is connected to Conversation.
And also, if you have your own podcast app that you can't find us on, shoot us a email with your preferred app, and we'll try to get us on there as soon as possible.
Yeah, as soon as possible. Just let us know. And if you have anything that you feel like we need to do better or we can do more of, hit us up. We take all suggestions. We really read them, and we really try to use it and utilize it. Hey, until next time, people, this is our show. I'm your host, Token.
And I'm Mano, M-A-N-N-O.
We'll see you guys next time.
You fucking suck.
Common Conversation.
I think I was pretty close.
Token the Mano, Pittsburgh, what it do? We in the city of bridges, we in the city of smoke. We in the city of rivers, so you don't need you a moat. We in the city of haters, so you just might need a coat. Or at least bring your jacket, cause man, the city get cold. Yeah, man, the city is frosty. Yeah, man, the city is costly. But yeah, the city is mine. For 1, 2 times. Well, you know that we grind, cause you know money is time. And you know time is steady ticking, so I gotta get mine. And it's time to come up, so put your hands up. Let's all live this life before death in the rough. Ain't no time to mess up. Man, you better get with it. Arithmetic to the spin. Now do the math that you listen.
I'm kind of like, yo, and you can't, because the mic, it don't pick up that much, but you're still kind of close to where it picks it up, and you
Then
can
I can
hear
fucking
it.
hear you.
Yeah.
Right here. Fuck that.
You can hear you.
Thank you, people. Until next time. Peace.
Deuces!
We love you.
We're out.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I'm
married.
walking all the way over there.
You said what the